The notification lights up her phone screen in the neon-soaked streets of Gangnam, a photo that shatters everything. Anita Logan stares at the image of her fiancé, Dae-Min, tangled in hotel sheets with the one person she trusted most in this foreign country, her best friend Michelle. And this betrayal happens exactly 24 hours before Anita is supposed to walk down the aisle. Her hands tremble so violently she nearly drops her phone on the Seoul sidewalk, the city lights blurring through tears she refuses to let fall. Not yet. Not where anyone can see. She spent 8 months in South Korea, building a life around a man who just destroyed it with one act of infidelity. And she'll be damned if she falls apart on a public street at midnight. The photo was taken tonight. She recognizes the champagne bottle, the expensive kind Damon always orders. The same one he claimed he was drinking with his groomsmen for his bachelor dinner. Lies. Everything wrapped in his perfect smile and polished words was nothing but lies. Now, before we find out what happens next in this absolutely wild turn of events, let me ask you something. What would you do if you were Anita and you experienced a betrayal like this? Drop a comment below and let me know. And hey, if you're already hooked on this story and want to see where this convenience store meeting leads, smash that like button right now and hit subscribe so you never miss our incredible romance stories. Anita doesn't go back to their apartment. She can't. Instead, her feet carry her through unfamiliar streets until she finds herself standing in front of a convenience store, fluorescent lights humming like they're the only steady thing left in the world. Inside, the AC hits her skin, and she remembers she's wearing the silk dress she bought for their rehearsal dinner today. Technically, the dinner that will never happen. You look like you need something stronger than what we sell here. A voice comes from behind her, deep and measured. She turns to find a man leaning against the instant noodle display, like he owns the place. Though his custom-fitted black suit and the Patek Philippe on his wrist suggest he could probably buy this entire chain without checking his account balance. His golden hair catches the harsh lighting, styled with the effortless precision of someone who has people for that. Sharp jawline, the kind of build that speaks to personal trainers and pre-dawn gym sessions, and eyes that assess her with unsettling accuracy. "Excuse me?" Anita manages, her voice rougher than intended. "Your mascara's running. You're in Louboutins at a convenience store past midnight. And you keep checking your phone like you're expecting either very good or very terrible news," he says, picking up a cup of ramyeon and examining it with more interest than instant noodles deserve. The wedding dress shopping bag on the counter suggests the latter. She glances at the bag she doesn't remember putting down. Her emergency shopping from this morning, last-minute items for tomorrow's ceremony. The universe has a cruel sense of humor. "Not that it's any of your business, but my wedding just got canceled," Anita says, the words tasting like ash. "Well, I'm canceling it. Because my fiancé is currently..." She stops herself, pride wrestling with the need to scream the truth at someone, anyone. "Cheating?" He fills in the blank, without sympathy or surprise, just statement of fact. Dae-Min Kang always was predictable. Anita's blood goes cold. "How do you know?" "I'm Taehyun Kang, his stepbrother." He says it the way someone might announce they have a distant, unfortunate relative. "And if you're Anita Logan, we've technically never met, though I've heard extensive stories. My stepbrother has a tendency to run his mouth at family dinners I'm obligated to attend." The name clicks in Anita's mind. Damon mentioned his older stepbrother exactly twice, once to explain why he worked at the family company despite clearly doing minimal actual work, and once to complain about how Taehyun controlled everything since their father died. She'd pictured someone older, severe, nothing like the man standing before her with that unsettling combination of beauty and ice. "So you knew," she says slowly, anger finding a new target. "You knew what kind of person he is, and you never..." "We're not close. I run Kang Industries. He shows up when legally required and spends our father's money. What he does in his personal life stopped being my concern years ago." Taehyun's expression doesn't shift, but something flickers in his eyes. Though for what it's worth, I did try to warn him that public infidelity would damage the family reputation. Clearly, he ignored me. How considerate. Your concern for the family image is really touching, Anita says dryly. I wasn't finished. He sets down the Ramyeon. I was going to add that anyone willing to relocate continents for someone like Dae-Min either has terrible judgment or genuinely saw something in him that doesn't exist. Given your professional credentials, he mentioned you have a master's in international business from Indiana University. I'm guessing the latter, which makes this significantly worse for you. The clinical assessment of her devastation should infuriate Anita. Instead, it steadies something inside her. This stranger sees her as a person who made a calculated error, not a fool blinded by love. Your sympathy is overwhelming, she responds. Sympathy won't solve your problems, but I might have a solution if you're interested in hearing it. He pulls out his phone, types something, then meets her eyes. Your visa is sponsored through Daemin's position at the company, correct? And your apartment lease is in his name because the landlord required a Korean guarantor? Anita realizes he has access to employee records through the family company. Yes, she admits, the reality settling like stones in her stomach. Which means, when I leave him, I lose my legal status here and my housing. I have enough savings for maybe 2 months, but finding a new job that will sponsor a visa takes 3 to 6 months minimum, and most companies won't consider foreign candidates without existing work authorization. He finishes the thought. You're trapped. He can force you out of the country within 30 days, and even if you wanted to fight it, the legal fees would bankrupt you before you won anything. Hearing it stated so plainly makes Anita want to vomit. She came to Seoul because Dae-Min painted this picture of a life together, adventure in a new culture, opportunities in one of Asia's tech capitals. She learned Korean, built friendships, started putting down roots, and now it's all conditional on a man who couldn't keep his pants on for 24 hours. If you're about to offer me money to disappear quietly so I don't embarrass your family, you can save your breath, she says. I have my pride. I'm offering you a marriage. Taehyun says it, like he's proposing a business merger. 6 months, purely contractual. You get legal status, housing, and enough financial compensation to rebuild your life here or anywhere else you choose. I get to satisfy my late father's will. Anita stares at him. Your father's will required me to be married within 18 months of his death to take full control of Kang Industries. Otherwise, shares get distributed to board members who would tear apart everything he built. His jaw tightens slightly, the first crack in that composed facade. I have 2 months left. I've been resistant to the idea, but recent attempts by certain board members to push their daughters at me have made the situation untenable. So marry one of them, she challenges. They want real marriage, children, control. He says with distaste. You want independence and the ability to stay in Korea on your terms. We both get what we need. No emotional complications. It's insane. Marrying a stranger, even one who happens to be devastatingly attractive and apparently runs a tech empire. But the alternative is leaving Seoul in disgrace, returning to Indianapolis with her tail between her legs, admitting to everyone who doubted this move that they were right. What are the terms? She asks, and something that might be approval flickers across his face. You move into my penthouse, separate bedrooms, completely private living arrangement. We appear together at essential company functions and family events. You're free to work, live your life, see other people discreetly if you want. In 6 months, we divorce quietly. You receive a settlement of 500 million won, and I help you secure a position at any company in Seoul you choose. He lays it out methodically. 500 million won, nearly $400,000. Enough to start over anywhere, do anything. And your stepbrother? The question burns. Dae-Min will know this is revenge. Let him. Taehyun smiles for the first time, and it's devastating and cold. He spent years coasting on the family name while contributing nothing. Maybe it's time he learned there are consequences. Anita should say no. This is crazy, impulsive, everything she's not. But standing in this convenience store in her rehearsal dinner dress, her life in shambles because she trusted the wrong person, crazy feels like exactly what she needs. One condition, she says. I won't be a kept woman. I want to work, earn my own money. This settlement is for after, but while we're married, I support myself. Agreed. Though finding a position might be difficult, given I already have 3 standing offers from when I was job hunting last year. She pulls out her phone, fingers steadier now. I turned them down because Dae-Min wanted me to work at Kang Industries eventually, but Nexus Tech, Global Dynamics, and Hansong Corporation all said the door was open. His eyebrows rise slightly. Hansong? They're our biggest competitor. I know. She meets his gaze. Is that a problem? Actually, it's perfect. Shows you're genuinely independent. He extends his hand. Do we have a deal, Anita Logan? She takes his hand. His grip is firm, warm despite the ice in his demeanor. We have a deal, Tae-Hyun Kang. Good. I'll have my lawyer draw up the contract tomorrow. Tonight, you'll stay at the Grand Walker Hill. I'll call ahead. Pack whatever you need from the apartment, preferably while Dae-Min is still occupied. The slight curl of his lip suggests exactly how he feels about his stepbrother's activities. And Anita? Don't tell anyone the real arrangement. As far as the world knows, we fell in love and this is completely real. What about your stepbrother? He'll never believe. Dae-Min believes what he wants to believe, and he's always underestimated both of us. Tae-Hyun checks his watch. I'll send a car for you tomorrow at 9. Bring everything you want to keep. Leave everything he gave you. He walks out of the convenience store like he didn't just propose a marriage that will detonate his family dynamics, leaving Anita surrounded by instant noodles and the ruins of her old life. She grabs her phone and texts the unknown number that sent the photo. Thank you for the evidence. You saved me from making the biggest mistake of my life. Then she blocks Damon's number, books a car to the apartment she won't be returning to after tonight, and starts planning exactly what to say when her lying ex-fiance finally comes home. The apartment is dark when Anita arrives. Good. She packs methodically. Clothes she bought herself, her laptop, the jewelry from her grandmother, her books and photographs. Everything Dae-Min gave her stays behind. The designer bags, the expensive perfumes, the engagement ring she places on the kitchen counter with a note that says simply, "We're done. Don't contact me." She's zipping her last suitcase when her phone buzzes. Michelle. Anita, where are you? Dae-Min is freaking out. He said you left some crazy text? The audacity is breathtaking. Anita screenshots the photo Michelle is in and sends it back. Ask him to explain this. And lose my number. Michelle's typing indicator appears, disappears, appears again. Anita doesn't wait to see what excuse her former friend conjures. Instead, she calls the number Tae-Hyun provided, and a professional voice confirms her reservation at the Grand Walker Hill suite prepaid. By the time Daemon's calls start flooding in, Anita is in a car heading toward Gangnam, leaving behind 8 months of carefully constructed lies. The Grand Walker Hill is excessive luxury, the kind of place Dae-Min always promised to take Anita but never did. The suite has floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul's glittering skyline, a bathroom larger than her Indianapolis apartment, and complimentary champagne she pours down the sink because she can't look at it without seeing that photo. Anita doesn't sleep. Instead, she researches Tae-Hyun Kang properly, and what she finds is impressive and slightly terrifying. At 32, he's transformed Kang Industries from a traditional manufacturing company into a tech powerhouse, specializing in AI and sustainable technology. He's been featured in Forbes, Bloomberg, and every major Asian business publication. The articles describe him as brilliant, ruthless, and intensely private. There are almost no photos of him at social events, no mention of relationships, no scandals. until tomorrow, when he marries his stepbrother's ex-fiance, less than 24 hours after her wedding was supposed to happen. The internet is going to lose its mind. Taehyun's car arrives exactly at 9 the next morning. The driver loads Anita's luggage without comment and takes her to a building in Cheongdam-dong that screams money so loudly it doesn't need to say anything at all. The penthouse occupies the entire top floor, all marble and modern art and windows that make Seoul look like it exists just to be beautiful from this height. Taehyun is sitting at a dining table with a tablet and coffee, dressed in a charcoal suit that probably costs more than Anita's college tuition. He looks up when she enters. "Coffee?" he offers. "The kitchen is fully stocked. My housekeeper comes Tuesdays and Thursdays, but she's discreet and won't bother you." "I need to know something first," Anita says, dropping her bag. "Why are you really doing this? The will explains what you get, but there are a dozen women who would marry you for the status alone. Why choose me?" He sets down his coffee. "Because you have no interest in staying married to me. You want independence, not a husband. That makes you safe." "Safe from what?" "From wanting more than I'm willing to give." He stands, walking to the windows. "I watched my father's 3 marriages destroy him emotionally and nearly bankrupt the company. I have no interest in repeating his mistakes. You need a solution to a problem. I need a solution to a different problem. It's clean." There's something sad in how clinical he makes it sound, but Anita doesn't push. They have their arrangement. His emotional damage is not her responsibility. "The contract," he says, pulling papers from his briefcase. "I had my lawyer expedited. Read carefully." She does. It's thorough, fair, and surprisingly generous. Beyond the settlement, it includes provisions for her education if she wants to pursue further degrees, connections for career advancement, and a confidentiality clause that protects both of them. The wedding is scheduled for Friday. Taehyun adds, "City Hall, minimal guests. My mother will be there. She knows the truth and approves. Anyone else who attends will believe this is real." "Including Dae-Min?" she asks. "He'll be informed after. Let him read about it in the business section, with everyone else." There's satisfaction in his voice. Anita signs the contract. Taehyun signs. It's done. "Your room is down that hall. Last door," he says. "My assistant will send you details for Friday. Until then, you're free to do whatever you need." It's a dismissal. Polite, but firm. Anita takes her bags and finds a bedroom that's bigger than her entire Indianapolis apartment, decorated in soft grays and whites, with an ensuite bathroom that has a soaking tub she might never leave. She sinks onto the bed and finally lets herself cry for the life she thought she'd have, for the friend she lost, for the naive hope that brought her across the world, for a man who never deserved it. But she doesn't cry for long, because starting Friday, she's going to be Anita Logan Kang, and she has plans. The wedding is as impersonal as promised. City Hall, a translator for the legal portions Anita still doesn't fully understand in Korean, and exactly 4 witnesses. Taehyun's mother, an elegant woman in Chanel, who looks at Anita with knowing sympathy, his lawyer, his assistant, and a photographer who captures enough photos to make it look legitimate. Taehyun kisses Anita for exactly 3 seconds when instructed, his lips warm but completely chaste, a performance for the camera and nothing more. She wears a simple white dress she bought that morning, no veil, no flowers, no pretense this is anything but a transaction. His mother hugs Anita afterward. "He's a good man," she whispers in accented English. "Broken, but good. Don't let him push you away completely." Anita doesn't know what to say to that, so she just nods. They sign papers, take photos, and by noon Anita is legally married to a man she met 3 days ago. The news breaks while they're having a silent lunch at the penthouse. Taehyun's phone starts buzzing incessantly. Anita's is mercifully quiet. She's blocked nearly everyone except her family, who she's told a carefully edited version of events. "It's trending," Taehyun says, scrolling through his tablet. "Tech CEO, Taehyun Kang's surprise marriage. The gossip sites are losing their minds. Any mention of Dae-Min? She asks. Several. They've connected that you were his fiancé. One particularly enterprising reporter found the wedding venue booking that was cancelled. He shows her the screen. The headline reads, Kang Brothers Love Triangle? Billionaire CEO marries brother's ex in shocking ceremony. That's not, we weren't a triangle, Anita protests. Facts rarely matter to gossip. He shrugs. My PR team will release a statement this afternoon. We fell in love. It was sudden. We're very happy. The usual script. And Dae-Min has called 17 times. I'm ignoring him. Taehyun's smile is sharp. Let him suffer. Anita should feel guilty about the revenge aspect. She doesn't. Instead, she feels powerful for the first time in days. I need to go shopping, she announces. For work clothes. I have an interview at Hansong Corporation Monday morning. You work fast, he observes. I learned from the best how quickly life can change. Might as well make it change in my favor. She stands, grabbing her purse. Don't wait up. Anita. He stops her at the door. Thank you for doing this. Thank me in 6 months when you have your company. She pauses. And Taehyun? Don't think I didn't notice you paid the hotel bill for 3 nights instead of 1. Or that my luggage is designer pieces I never bought. If we're going to have a business arrangement, don't muddy it with guilt gifts. He has the grace to look slightly caught. You needed appropriate luggage for someone in your new position. My new position as your temporary wife, not a charity case. She softens it with a small smile. Though I appreciate the thought. She leaves him there, this strange man she's married, and goes shopping for the career she's going to build on her own terms. Hansong Corporation offers Anita the position on Tuesday, senior analyst in their international expansion division, working on partnerships between Korean tech firms and American markets. It's perfect, utilizing her degree, her bilingual skills, and her understanding of both cultures. The salary is generous enough that she opens her own bank account immediately, Korean and American, completely separate from Taehyun's finances. When she tells him at dinner their first actually shared meal, though he's working on his laptop between bites, he looks genuinely impressed. Hansong is smart to grab you. They've been trying to break into the American market for 2 years with minimal success. He pauses. You know they'll use your connection to me to try to get information about Kang Industries. I know, and I'll shut it down every time. She meets his eyes. I don't spy for anyone, including you. I wouldn't ask you to, he closes his laptop, but I will ask you to attend a charity gala with me this Saturday. First public appearance as a married couple. The press will be brutal. Good. Let them get their pictures and their gossip. Then maybe they'll leave us alone, she says. His laugh surprises her, short, genuine, nothing like the cold professionalism he usually maintains. You really don't care what people think, do you? I cared what Dae-Min thought. Look where that got me. She shrugs. Now I care about building a life that's mine. Everything else is noise. Something shifts in how Taehyun looks at her, but before Anita can identify it, his walls slam back up. The gala is black tie. I'll have my stylist contact you. I can dress myself, she insists. I don't doubt it, but these events have specific expectations, and you're representing Kang Industries now. Whether you like it or not, he softens it slightly. Consider it part of our agreement. I attend your work functions if needed. You attend mine. Fine, but I'm picking my own dress. I wouldn't dream of interfering, he says. The dress Anita chooses is midnight blue, sleek and elegant, with a slit that shows exactly enough leg to be interesting without being scandalous. She styles her hair in natural curls, makeup that enhances rather than masks, and the diamond studs her grandmother left her. When she emerges from her room Saturday evening, Taehyun goes completely still. He's in a tuxedo that should be illegal, his golden hair styled back, and for a moment they just stare at each other like strangers remembering they're supposed to be married. You look, He starts, then stops. That dress is perfect. You don't look terrible yourself. She grabs her clutch. Ready to face the wolves? Stay close to me. Don't answer any questions about our relationship. That's what the PR statement is for. And if my stepbrother is there, which he likely will be, let me handle it. Dae-Min will be there? Anita's stomach drops. It's the Children's Hospital Charity Gala. Our family has sponsored it for 20 years. He always attends. Taehyun's jaw tightens. But you're my wife now. He doesn't get to speak to you. The possessiveness in his voice shouldn't send warmth through Anita. This is fake, an arrangement. But something in how he says, my wife, makes her feel protected for the first time since that photo destroyed her world. The gala is at the Shilla Hotel, all crystal chandeliers, and Seoul's elite in their finest. Cameras flash as they arrive, Taehyun's hand firm on Anita's lower back, guiding her through the press line with practiced ease. Mr. Kang, is it true you married your brother's fiancé? Mrs. Kang, how long have you been in a relationship? Is this revenge for… Taehyun doesn't answer, just keeps moving until they're inside where the noise fades to elegant classical music and the clink of champagne glasses. Breathe, he murmurs. The worst is over. He's wrong. Dae-Min appears within 5 minutes, looking polished but with shadows under his eyes that suggest he hasn't been sleeping well. Michelle is on his arm in a red dress, playing the dutiful girlfriend with desperation in her eyes. Hyung, Dae-Min says, using the Korean term for older brother with clear irony. Congratulations on your sudden marriage. Dae-Min, Taehyun's voice could freeze fire. I wasn't aware you were bringing a guest. Michelle and I are together now. Officially, he pulls her closer. Since Anita abandoned me, I… Stop talking, Anita finds her voice, cold and steady. You don't get to rewrite history. Everyone here knows what you did. What I did? His laugh is sharp. You married my brother out of spite 3 days after our wedding was supposed to happen. You're not the victim here, Anita. No, I'm the woman who dodged a bullet. She steps closer. You cheated on me with my best friend the night before our wedding. You destroyed everything we built. And now you want to play wounded? Michelle flinches. Good. That was a mistake, Dae-Min says. But he won't meet her eyes. We could have worked through it if you hadn't. Enough. Taehyun's hand finds Anita's, fingers interlacing with authority. You humiliated her. You broke her trust. And now you're upset that she found someone who actually values her? That's rich, even for you. You don't value her. This is a business arrangement. Everyone knows it. Dae-Min's desperation shows. You're using her to get your inheritance. And when you're done, when I'm done, she'll still be better off than she ever was with you. Taehyun pulls Anita against his side. Now, if you'll excuse us, my wife and I have actual charitable work to do, not just appearances to maintain. He guides Anita away, leaving Damon and Michelle standing there like the liars they are. You okay? Taehyun asks when they're alone by the bar. I'm perfect, she says. And she is, because watching Dae-Min squirm was better than any revenge she could have planned. Thank you for that. He had it coming. He orders them both champagne. Though I meant what I said, you are better off. Even though this is temporary? She asks. He pauses, something complex crossing his face. Even so. They spend the rest of the evening working the room. Taehyun introduces Anita to CEOs, investors, politicians, people who will matter for her career. He's good at this, the social navigation, making her look brilliant without overshadowing her own accomplishments. By the end of the night, Anita has 4 business cards and 3 lunch invitations. You're a natural, Taehyun says in the car home. Most people are terrified at these events. I grew up poor in Indianapolis. These people don't scare me. She kicks off her heels. Though I'll admit, the champagne was excellent. You barely drank, he notes. Control issue. I learned tonight that appearances matter in your world. Can't afford to slip up. She looks at him. This worked well. We're convincing. We are, he agrees. But he sounds almost regretful saying it. Okay, can we talk about this for a second? Because the tension between these two is insane. I need to know, are you team fake marriage, should stay fake, or are you team they're obviously falling for each other? Drop your team in the comments right now. And listen, if you're loving this emotional roller coaster as much as I am, do me a huge favor and smash that subscribe button, because we drop stories like this every single week. Hit that like button if you think Anita deserves so much better than Dae-Min, honestly. That man is not it at all. And make sure you've got that notification bell turned on, because trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next in this story. The chemistry is about to get even more intense. Now, quick question before we continue. Whose side are you on in the confrontation scene? Did you cheer when Anita put Dae-Min in his place? Or do you think she should have taken the high road? Comment below. All right, let's get back to Anita and Taehyun, because things are about to get real complicated. Work at Hansong becomes Anita's sanctuary. She throws herself into projects, proving she earned her position through merit, not connections. Her colleagues are initially suspicious. Everyone knows she's married to the CEO of their biggest competitor, but her work speaks for itself. Within 3 weeks, she's identified 2 major partnership opportunities with American tech firms and secured preliminary meetings. Her boss, Director Yoon, calls her into her office. "You've exceeded expectations," Director Yoon says. "But I need to know, is there a conflict of interest with your husband?" "No," Anita meets her gaze steadily. "Taehyun and I keep our professional lives completely separate. I would never compromise Hansong's interests, and he would never ask me to." It's true. Despite living together, they barely see each other. He leaves for the office before dawn, returns after 10, and their interactions are limited to occasional shared meals and planning for public events. It's exactly what Anita signed up for. So why does the distance sometimes feel lonely? A month into their marriage, everything shifts. Anita is working late at the penthouse. Hansong gave her the week off after she successfully closed the American partnership deal when Taehyun comes home at a reasonable hour for once. "You're home early," she says, looking up from her laptop. Board meeting ended ahead of schedule. He loosens his tie. "Are you working? I thought you were on vacation." "Personal project. I'm thinking about starting a consulting firm eventually, helping Korean companies break into American markets, building a business plan." She closes her laptop. "Did the meeting go well?" "Well enough. The board is pleased with Q3 numbers." He pours himself whiskey. "Want one?" "Sure." He hands her a glass and sits on the opposite end of the couch, closer than they've been outside of public appearances. "Can I ask you something?" "Of course." "Do you miss it? Your old life, before," he stops, "before Dae-Min ruined everything?" Anita considers the question. "I miss the idea of it. The future I thought I'd have. But the actual life?" She shakes her head. "He kept me small. Wanted me to work at the family company where he could keep tabs on me. Got upset when I talked about my own ambitions. I didn't realize how controlling it was until I had freedom again. He always needed to be the center of attention. Even as kids, Taehyun swirls his whiskey. Our parents married when I was 12, he was 8. I tried to be a good older brother, but he resented that I was better at school, at sports, at business. Instead of working harder, he just took shortcuts, cheated, lied. Is that why you two don't speak?" she asks. "Partially. The final break was when he tried to embezzle from the company 3 years ago. My father covered it up to avoid scandal, but I made it clear Dae-Min was on his last chance." His expression darkens. He's been coasting ever since. "And now he's telling everyone our marriage is fake to try to undermine you." "Let him. The contract is solid, and in 5 more months, I'll have full control regardless of what he claims." Taehyun looks at her. "How are you handling it? The rumors? The gossip?" "Honestly, I don't care. My work speaks for itself. If people want to think I'm a gold digger or you're using me, that's their problem. She sips the whiskey. Though I will admit, it's strange sometimes. What is this? She gestures between them. Living with someone. Being married, but also not. Like we're playing house, but everyone pretends it's real. Does it bother you? He asks. Sometimes, Anita admits. She's being honest in a way she hasn't been with him. Maybe it's the whiskey. Maybe it's the late hour. Not because I want more from you, I don't. But because I wonder if I'm capable of real anymore after Dae-Min. Like maybe he broke something permanent. Tae-hyun sets down his glass and does something unexpected. He takes her hand. Not the performative touches they do in public, but genuine connection. He didn't break you, Anita. You're the strongest person I know. His thumb brushes over her knuckles. You took the worst betrayal and turned it into an opportunity. You're building an incredible career. You're surviving in a foreign country where most people would have run home. That's not broken. That's extraordinary. Something warm unfurls in Anita's chest. Dangerous, given their arrangement, but she can't stop it. Thank you, she whispers. They sit there, hands linked, until Tae-hyun pulls away like he's remembering himself. I should let you work, he says, standing. But Anita, if you do start that consulting firm, I'd like to be your first investor. He leaves before she can respond, and she's left staring at her laptop, wondering what just happened. Things change after that night. Subtle shifts. Tae-hyun comes home earlier. They eat dinner together more often. He asks about Anita's day and actually listens. They watch movies on weekends, debate business strategies, laugh at the same stupid jokes. It feels dangerously like friendship, maybe more. Anita catches herself watching him, sometimes the way he focuses completely when working, the rare smile that transforms his face, the gentleness he shows when he thinks no one is looking, how he remembers she hates cilantro and loves terrible rom-coms, how he bought a coffee maker that does the exact complicated order she prefers. Small things that add up to something terrifying. She's falling for her fake husband. The realization hits Anita during a company dinner where Tae-hyun is giving a speech about innovation. He's brilliant, passionate about the technology his company develops, and when he looks at her in the audience, his expression softens in a way she knows isn't performance. She's in trouble. After the dinner, they walk along the Han River, Seoul lit up around them. You were amazing tonight, Anita tells him. I was talking about circuit boards and AI ethics. Not exactly riveting, he protests. To you, maybe. But I love watching you talk about things you care about. You come alive. She bumps his shoulder. It's attractive. The word slips out before she can stop it. Tae-hyun goes still. Anita. I know. This isn't supposed to be real. We have an arrangement. She forces a laugh. Ignore me. The wine is talking. But he catches her hand, stopping her. What if I don't want to ignore it? Her heart stops. What? I've been trying not to think about it, not to acknowledge it, but he runs his free hand through his hair, disheveling the perfect style. This hasn't felt fake for me in weeks, maybe longer, and I don't know what to do about it. Tae-hyun, you scare me, he admits, because I built my entire life around not needing anyone. Not trusting people enough to let them in. And then you walked into a convenience store in tears and somehow became the best part of my day. Anita can barely breathe. I thought you didn't want complications. I didn't. I don't. He steps closer. But you're worth being complicated for. We have 4 more months on the contract, she reminds him. Screw the contract. His hands frame her face. I'm asking you, Anita Logan, do you want this to be real? Because I do. I want morning coffee and late-night conversations and hearing about your day. I want to actually be your husband, not just play one for cameras. Anita should be cautious, should protect herself, should remember that she came to Korea for one man and it ended in disaster. But Tae-hyun isn't Dae-Min. He's never lied to her, never made her feel small. Never wanted anything but for her to be exactly who she is. Yes, she breathes. I want it to be real. He kisses her, then not the brief, performative peck from their wedding, but real and deep and world-shifting. His hands in her hair, her arms around his neck, soul spinning away until there's nothing but them and this moment and the truth they've been dancing around for months. When they break apart, both breathless, he rests his forehead against hers. So where do we go from here? She asks. Wherever you want. We have time to figure it out. He smiles. No contract, no timeline, just us. I like the sound of that, she says. They walk back to the penthouse hand in hand, and when they reach her bedroom door, he kisses her again. We don't have to rush anything, he tells her. I can wait until you're ready. I know, but Taehyun? She meets his eyes. I'm ready. The next morning, Anita wakes up in his bed instead of hers, sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows, his arm around her waist. Good morning, wife, he murmurs sleepily. Good morning, husband. She turns to face him. No regrets? None. You? Not even slightly, she kisses him. Though we should probably tell people this is real now. Eventually. Eventually, he pulls her closer. But not today. Today, I want to be selfish and keep you all to myself. They spend the day in the penthouse, cooking breakfast together, talking about everything and nothing, mapping out what a real future might look like. What about the settlement? Anita asks later. The money in the contract. Keep it. You earned it dealing with my family drama. He grins. Consider it an investment in your consulting firm. I don't need your money. I know. But let me help anyway. He kisses her temple. Partners help each other, right? Partners, she echoes. I like that. They don't announce the change immediately. Instead, they let their relationship unfold naturally. Dinners that turn into long conversations. Weekends exploring Seoul together. Slowly merging their separate lives into something shared. At work, Anita continues building her reputation. Hansung promotes her to senior director after she closes 3 major deals. Taehyun celebrates by taking her to the restaurant where they had their first real date, though neither of them can agree if it was the convenience store or the charity gala. Does it matter? She asks, stealing food from his plate. I suppose not. As long as all the dates from now on are real. Very real, she promises. Director Yoon notices the change when Taehyun picks Anita up from work one evening, the way he kisses her before opening the car door. That doesn't look like a business arrangement, Director Yoon comments the next day. It's not, Anita admits. It started as one, but real feelings don't follow contracts. Director Yoon finishes with a smile. I'm happy for you, Anita. You deserve someone who looks at you like you hung the moon. Anita thinks about how Taehyun watched her present to the board last week, pride obvious in every glance. How he brags about her accomplishments to anyone who will listen. How he's never once tried to diminish her success or take credit for her work. Yeah, she says softly. I really do. The drama comes, inevitably, from Dae-Min. 3 months after Taehyun and Anita made their relationship real, his stepbrother shows up at an industry networking event she's attending. Michelle isn't with him, rumor has it. They broke up after she tried to leverage their relationship for a job, and he refused. Anita, Dae-Min says, approaching while she's at the bar. Can we talk? No, she doesn't look at him. We have nothing to discuss. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. He sounds genuinely remorseful. What I did to you, to us, I've regretted it every day. Good. You should. She turns to face him. But your regret doesn't change anything. You cheated, you lied, and you showed me exactly who you are. I'm grateful for it, actually, because it led me to someone infinitely better. My brother doesn't love you. He can't. He's incapable of. You don't know him at all. She cuts him off. Taehyun is the best man I've ever known. He's kind, brilliant, supportive, and he treats me like an equal partner. Everything you never were. This started as a business deal. Everyone knows that. It did. And then it became real, because we actually care about each other. We built something honest. She smiles. But you wouldn't understand that, would you? You've never been honest about anything. Taehyun appears at her side, his hand finding the small of her back. Is there a problem? Just old acquaintances catching up, Anita says lightly. But we're done now. Dae-Min looks between them, seeing what everyone else does, that they're genuinely in love, that this is nothing like what Anita had with him. You'll regret this, he says desperately. Both of you. The only thing I regret is wasting 8 months on you. Anita leans into Taehyun. Now, if you'll excuse us, we have better things to do. They walk away, leaving Dae-Min standing there. You okay? Taehyun asks quietly. Perfect. Especially because I finally got to tell him the truth. She looks up at him. That I'm completely, stupidly in love with you. He stops walking, eyes widening. You what? I love you. She says it clearly, confidently. I know it's fast and complicated, and we started this whole thing as fake, but it's real now. You're real, and I love you. Anita, his voice cracks. I love you too. So much it terrifies me. Right there in the middle of the networking event, he kisses her like they're the only people in the room. And maybe they are, because Anita doesn't notice anyone else. 6 months after their convenience store meeting, they sit in the same lawyer's office where they signed their marriage contract. So you want to void the original agreement? The lawyer asks, confused. Yes, Taehyun confirms. The settlement, the timeline, all of it. We're staying married, but we want it to be a real marriage. No business terms. And the money? The lawyer looks at Anita. Keep it in escrow for the consulting firm we're starting together, she says. Partnership, equal shares. Taehyun grins. She drives a hard bargain. You love it. I really do. They sign new papers, a real prenup that protects both of them, while acknowledging this is a genuine partnership. It feels right, official in a way the first contract never did. Outside, Seoul is bright and alive, full of possibility. What now? Anita asks. Now we go home. Together, he takes her hand, and we build whatever life we want. Together, she echoes. Her phone buzzes. A message from her mom. Your grandmother would be so proud of you, baby. You took heartbreak and turned it into something beautiful. Anita looks at Taehyun, this brilliant, complicated man who started as her escape plan and became her everything. You know what's funny? She says as they walk to his car. If Dae-Min hadn't cheated, I never would have met you. I'd probably be miserable in a mediocre marriage, never knowing what I was missing. So we should thank him? He asks. Absolutely not. But I can acknowledge that his betrayal led me exactly where I needed to be. She squeezes his hand. With someone who actually deserves me. We deserve each other, he corrects. Though I still think I got the better end of this deal. We can argue about that later. At home. In bed. His eyes darken. I like how you think, Mrs. Kang. Good. Because you're stuck with me now. Best contract I ever signed. They drive back to the penthouse that's become their home. Seoul spreading out below them, full of lights and life and endless possibility. Behind them, the mess of betrayal and broken trust. Ahead, something better than either of them ever imagined. Somewhere in the city, Dae-Min is probably still trying to convince himself he didn't lose everything. Michelle is likely regretting her choices, and neither of them matter anymore. Because Anita found something real in the ashes of their lies. She found herself, her career, her power. And she found love with the last person she expected, the stranger in a convenience store who offered her an escape route and accidentally became her destination. Her phone buzzes again. This time, it's the Hansung board, confirming her promotion to vice president. Taehyun's phone chimes simultaneously, his board officially voting to make his position as CEO permanent, no marriage requirement necessary. They look at each other and laugh. We did it, she says, We did, he agrees, pulling her close. Though I have a feeling this is just the beginning. He's right, because ahead of them lies board meetings and business rivalries, family drama that won't resolve cleanly, and the challenge of merging two ambitious careers into one partnership. But they'll face it together. And that makes all the difference. If you enjoyed this story of betrayal turned into unexpected love, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another amazing romance story. Drop a comment below telling us what you thought about Anita and Taehyun's journey, and let us know what kind of story you want to hear next. Until next time, remember, sometimes the worst heartbreak leads you to your greatest love.